it is what it is. Don't steep in it for too long. Be aware and move forward. Try and do better, but also totally fine if you don't. I also need to have like, this is ideal, but this is okay. That needs to be in here, that mentality. All right, since it's such a nice day, I would like to take advantage of it and film outside as much as possible. We're gonna do a little monthly update, some reflection of the last week and looking forward to this coming month, and then looking forward to the next month, which is April. Forgot for a quick second the order of, months. I also had fun this month doing a little bit of vlogging, so I'll just be interspersing some vlog footage as well as maybe some voiceover stuff into all of this, because I'm giving you my life updates in terms of my goals and aspirations, but also like just showing you a little bit of the fun side of stuff, go live life. It's not all about structure and trying to improve all the time. Keeping it real on both ends. So let's get into it. I feel like I've definitely felt the shift into spring, because I feel like with the longer days, the sun being out more, the weather being nice, then plans have been being made, or plans, basically my schedule's filling up, okay? So in the beginning of the month, I feel like I was pretty chill. I had a lot of time for YouTube and doing content stuff and reading. Although I wasn't totally wrong about having free time, I also definitely did stuff. I went to this like glamping bachelorette party where we all had cloaks and flower crowns. So we were definitely on this campsite looking like a whole ass coven, and it was really fun. We made little bracelets and just enjoyed each other's company, and we were embracing the cult vibes. Then I'm looking to the next month and it's so busy. I mean, I'm excited, but it's so busy. So I feel like planning for this next month is so important, because I am afraid of crumbling. I notoriously will crumble if I get too overwhelmed, as most people do, and that is very reasonable. I feel like this like reset video is more important this month than it was last month. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I do want to have a little look at last month and kind of reflect, and so I can see what I failed at, because I did fail at stuff, and I want to see what I can do better going forward, because that's how we grow, and hopefully minimize the mistakes, or at least try to avoid them. It is so warm. It's just because I'm like sitting directly in the sun, middle of the day sun, so definitely should have done this earlier or later, but I got time when I got time. Oh, the breeze is so nice, yes. Woo, baby. So last month I really wanted to get into the groove of like making videos and kind of trying to batch record and batch edit, and I was able to batch record, but batch editing was a little bit harder. I was successfully able to put out a video a week, so that's at least good, but I can definitely improve on my editing, which that will just like come with time, and I just have to accept that. But with all that's planned in the next month, I definitely feel like I need to get on top of my editing game so we can learn more about each other. Another thing that was on my goal list was to do a little bit more crafting. I did not do that. I did not set aside time to do some creative pursuits. Baby! This is Siri, by the way. Oh! She's named after Princess Cirilla from The Witcher. Huh? No. But I feel like it's totally fine that I didn't do as much crafting or no crafting, just because I feel like I was getting out a lot of my creative pursuits in like my video editing. So that's at least nice to know and then nice to feel, but I do need to get into crafting some more this next month, because I have an anime convention coming up at the end of May, so I definitely need to get all my cosplay stuff figured out and start working on that, just so I'm not too stressed going up to the con, even though inevitably I always am, so it's fine, it's fine. Another thing I succeeded in is I was able to add a cozy gaming day to my Twitch streams. It's only once a week, but it is still nice to have like a day that I dedicate to gaming, because that's like the reason why I like started streaming on Twitch, was to like force myself to play the games, because I want to play them. It's just a matter of making myself make time, and putting it in a Twitch schedule definitely forces my hand on that, and not in a bad way, in like the best way possible. So I've been loving that. I do that on Friday afternoons, and it's so nice to just like go into the weekend with just having a little bit of like cozy gaming time. Oh, I love it. Other stuff I failed at is I didn't set up any sort of multi-streaming. I wanted a multi-stream on like TikTok and on like Twitch and maybe on YouTube. I'm still unsure about that, but I didn't do that. It just had a lot going on. I had to like reset my whole computer, and it was a whole thing. It's all fine now, but because I had technical difficulties in other areas, I was not able to put my effort into that in this month. I also didn't sign up for any markets or cons that I wanted to vend at with like my like little Etsy sticker business, and I still want to do that. I didn't have time to do the research, so it is what it is. I feel like that is definitely my mentality. Like, it is what it is. Don't steep in it for too long. Just be aware and move forward. Try and do better, but also totally fine if you don't. Something I did succeed in, it was making small changes / setting up for my office redesign, which is gonna be a whole thing probably in the next month. And I did make moves on that. I have a new desk. I got a couple of like new desk things. So I'm making small moves, and the big moves are coming. And by making moves, I meant we literally bought a new desk. This is like almost, I feel like this is probably a big move, but either way, we got a desk for my brother actually, because I am going to be taking his sitting standing desk since he doesn't use it as a sitting standing desk. So yeah, we had a fun little IKEA day. I think that I'm going to be able to do at least a minor redesign in the next month or two. Fingers crossed. And I'll be recording all that. It'll be a whole video on its own. And to give you guys a little taste, I also am going to be doing like a big cleanup video, and part of that is I got drawers for my closet because my closet situation was a mess and my ADHD needs drawers instead of like hanging things up. So I spent a lot of time reorganizing all of that, and so I'm also just in the middle of a giant spring cleaning kind of thing. So yeah, best of luck to me on that, I suppose. And I had a whole bunch of stuff that on my goal list that was related to like improving my content, like getting a lav mic for me, so at these videos I can have a little mic here. Money, you know, did not have the money set aside to do that. We have taxes and all kinds of stuff, so that's gonna have to be on hold. Same thing with the lighting. I wanted to improve my lighting. Money is hard to do. The one thing that has nothing to do with money, just had to do with time, was making some short form videos for like my other social stuff. Didn't have time because I was so focused on trying to get something situated with YouTube. So putting that back on the goal list for this coming month, so fingers crossed. But there are a handful of things I'm just proud of that I did this past month that wasn't necessarily like on a goal list. It's just stuff that I'm like, wow, I did that. I feel like I was in tune with like my limits this past month, and I didn't make myself to do things for too long, or like I stopped myself from hyper-focusing too hard on things. You just want to play. It's a skill that I'm still learning. There were like 1 or 2 times I think that I could have done better, but I did improve, so that is nice. Because in the past, when I would get super into something and I would let it consume me for days on end, then that is 100% how I get burnt out. So I am trying to be as conscientious of that as possible, because I don't want to. I don't want to burn out on YouTube stuff, you know? Because I've been having a lot of fun doing this, and even already some people that I've met through YouTube, it's been nice. It's been so nice. I got you. Oof. You want to play? You just want to sit? You want to hang out with me? Okay. Siri is joining us for a little while until she gets tired or I kick her out. Don't airplane ears me. No. 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 Okay, fine. Don't touch you. Another thing I did this month, I was active on Threads, which is like Instagram's Twitter, and it was really fun. I feel like I found some new creators on there, and I just really like that platform at the moment. It makes sense because I like Twitter, so, you know, similar vibes, except it's fresh, so people are still very optimistic and positive over there. It'll change. I already feel people get a little negative over there, but it's fine. Hey, stop. I've also been trying to make some small changes over on my Discord channel because I really want to cultivate a fun community there. I want to eventually do like movie nights and things. Stop, baby. I want to do movie nights over there, and so I've been trying to make some small changes so I can hopefully make it a fun place to exist. So if you're looking for some fun place to talk about books and games and all this kind of stuff, then join the Discord, because I'm trying to build some fun vibes over there. It'll be slow going though. I can only dedicate so much time to it. So there are a handful of things I want to be mindful of going into April, and one of them is social media usage, and I also was trying to be mindful of that this past month, and I like unintentionally had almost a social media free weekend to a degree, in terms of like updating all the time and being on there too much. And it was just because I was busy, but it felt really nice and really refreshing, and it like allowed me to like catch up on some shows that I wanted to watch and read a handful of books I've been wanting to read, so it was just really nice. Part of the reason I had a social media free weekend is because I went to a wedding, and so I was just enjoying friends, and then also, you know, got a little drunk and stuff and had fun with friends. So then the next day I was out. I'm going to a wedding, and I just wanted to document that I look cute. I know I have my pants on. Also, my deck is not cute. Don't look at anything but me. So I would like to try to implement at least like a couple of intentional social media free weekends. And I'm gonna try to like encourage other people to do the same, because I feel like it's really nice to get away from this time suck, you know? Another thing related to that I unintentionally did, but I've been calling it rotting time. So basically being a vegetable, allowing myself to rot on the couch. And I want to like, I feel like it's almost counterintuitive to like plan that, but at least like make way for that, or like allow myself to have that time, because I just unintentionally did it this past week actually, because some plans got canceled. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit around and do absolutely not a thing and not worry about it, and it was really nice. So I've just been calling it my rotting time. Another thing is I think I need to try to make sure to only have like one streaming improvement a month, so in terms of like stuff for Twitch, because I think I can get very into it too quickly, and be like, oh well, I need to improve this and this and this. But if I just have like a list of stuff and then be like, this month I just need to get one of these things done, and then the next month do another thing, I think that is a much healthier way to do it, because I feel like I tried at one point to do a whole bunch of Twitch improvements. It ended up not happening, and then I was just disappointed in myself. So I just need to pace the improvements. There's no rush. It's not going anywhere. And one of the things I failed at last month was the signing up for shops and like markets and stuff for my like Etsy selling stuff. And I feel like it's because I have this like mentality of like how big of a thing it is, when it really isn't that big. A lot of it is just sending a single email or filling out a single Google form. So I feel like I need to like break down the stress and the bigness of it in my head. So that's something that I would like to try to do. Oh, he didn't want to be here. Never mind. In relation to editing YouTube videos, I really want to mark my time, or like record my time a little bit better. So keeping track of basically how long it takes me to do a rough cut, how long it takes me to like refine that, how long it takes me to put in music or like add little things on top. So I know how long each of those steps take, because right now I just have like an amorphous idea that I'm like, oh, I think it'll just take, 4 hours to do this, and then it ends up taking like double that, because I'm still learning how long things take, whereas I could just make it easier and actually record the time that I'm doing on like, those time tracking apps and stuff. So I know exactly how long it typically takes me, and hopefully get that time down over months. And in terms of getting equipment and stuff to improve my YouTube, equipment and setup, so the lav mic and lighting and stuff, I think that it would be really smart if per video that I put out, I like have almost like an allowance jar or like a reward jar for every video I successfully publish. Then I can put like $5 in a jar or something, just so there is a reward for me at the end in my mind, and then also like it is an investment beyond just the time, and then eventually I will have enough money in that jar to buy a new mic or new lights, So I think that that's a really good way to do it, and also a way to reward myself and my brain. So, and I'm always looking for ways to do that. And some general goals that I have for this next month is I really want to start my Stardew Valley and Cozy Gaming series on this YouTube channel. I had been trying to do it last month, but once again, I just got mixed up in a whole bunch of other stuff, so I wasn't able to. And with the new Stardew Valley patch, I really want to just like every other week or something have a Stardew Valley video out, just so we can have some more cozy vibes here that are outside of just reading. I want all the cozy hobbies here. I don't want just reading, even though I love reading. I love reading, not complaining about the reading. I would also really love to post on Instagram regularly again. I really need to get over this idea that like Instagram needs to be as polished as I feel like it needs to be in my head. So I feel like even if I post once a week next month, I'll be happy. I have like a way bigger schedule in my head, but I also need to have like, this is ideal, but this is okay, you know? And the thing for this month that I want to improve on my streaming stuff is the multi-stream. I really, really, really would like to do multi-streaming because I think it'd just be fun. Sounds like a good time. And also I just feel like I have fully abandoned my TikTok in terms of like uploading stuff, which is fine. But I am on TikTok too much for that to be a thing. For the amount of time that I'm putting in for, you know, distracting my brain, I also want it to maybe creatively stimulate my brain as well. You know, I want there to be some payoff to just the mindless scrolling, which isn't necessary for everyone, but for me as like a content creator, I feel like that's how it should be. Sometimes. In terms of the Discord stuff I was talking about earlier, I would like to make one small change to the Discord this month. So maybe like having like a question of the week or something along those lines. That's like pretty low effort, but something that'll encourage, you know, community, encourage conversation, because that's really what I love to do on Discord. I love talking. I love yapping everywhere on the internet. That's the goal here. I just want to spread my yapping wings. It's just how it is. I'm also really bad at like self-advertising on like just across the board, so I feel like I just should talk more about the fact that I'm making YouTube videos out and about, and it just, I feel weird and self-conscious about bringing it up, but I need to stop it, you know? I'm doing this, so I should embrace it in all aspects and just talk about it all the time. So those are the main goals going into April, okay? So we'll see how it goes in next month, you know? I'd also like to get into my favorites for the month. So with allergy season fast approaching, or kind of already here, I got these little like nose inhaler things. I don't know, it's like kind of like the smell of Vicks, but just in a thing, and you just like, I just saw it on TikTok one day, I don't remember. It wasn't even an ad on TikTok, and someone was like, this is what I use, and then I was like, oh my god, I have like constant runny nose like all year, so I'm like, this is perfect. So they've been a lifesaver. Love them. Highly recommend. And this is actually not my current favorite. This is a hopeful favorite for next month, is I want to get back into my like plant girl era. I acquired a few things for propagation from some friends, and I also got some seeds for some like beans and things like that that I would really like to grow in my yard. So maybe I might try to do that next month. Anyways, so that's a potential favorite for next month. Just keep an eye on it. My favorite book for this month, even though I'm not even done with it at the current moment, I'm like literally this close to being done with it, is A River Enchanted. And I have been loving specifically the audiobook. It's like done by a like Scottish narrator, and I love it. It's also Rebecca Ross, who wrote Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. And so the fact that I'm also loving this series, maybe I might just go back and read like every book she's ever written, which I think there's only like a handful of others. And she also is probably going to be like an auto purchase, like auto read author from here on out. I also know she lives in Georgia, so I'm like, where can I like accidentally run into her and be like, oh, Rebecca Ross? That sounds stalkery. That's not how I meant it, but I just want to meet her and be like, hey girl, hey, I like your stuff. Favorite show from this month, I watched Andor, which I'm not like a huge Star Wars person. I don't particularly love any of the like main movies. The trilogies are fine. I really liked the newer trilogy they were doing, but then they just it up real hard. So I didn't end up loving the end of that. Anyways, so I watched Andor because people said it's like one of the best things that Star Wars has put out in a long time. And I really, really liked it. It was so good. Like, it just felt so much more unique than the others stuff. I feel like it actually had much more of like a deeper message, and they really like infused it throughout the entire thing. And I just really loved it. And the actors were great. they just had so many people that I was like, oh my god, that person, like they had minor roles, but I've seen them in other things. Like a lot of them were from Chernobyl, actually, the show Chernobyl, and that show was really good. So it was just really interesting to see all these like seemingly up and coming actors being very good in this role as well. So highly recommend, even if you're not into Star Wars, you don't really need any other context. Even though it's technically a prequel to the Rogue One movie, you don't need to know any of that. But the Rogue One movie was one of my favorite Star Wars movies that they put out. So now I feel like I need to rewatch Rogue One because it's been a hot minute since I've watched it. Favorite game this month, pretty much exclusively I've been playing Tale, and that is like League of Legends like side game that they put out. So they have like their main games like League of Legends, like TFT and Valorant, but they had like a little side studio that was putting out a lot of like small one-off games. And I think that the studio got like shut down after they released all these games, but it was just really unfortunate because I feel like their marketing was just really not there on those games. A lot of them, I had been wanting to play them, and I found out just recently that they had all come out. Even Tale, I've been looking forward to it for so long, and I didn't hear about it like from Riot. I heard about it from like cozy gamer people I follow, and I was like, what? Why, where was the marketing on this? I wanted to play this, I wanted to play the Tale, I think it was the Tale of Nunu or something of Nunu, the Song of Nunu? I don't know, but I want to play that one, and I found out that one has been out for a while. I was just really disappointed that they're not going to be making more of these because I really, really like it. Tale is so extensive so far. Like it's like a $25 game, and it just like has the skill tree is insane. Like it just seems like there's so many hours that I can be putting into that game. Don't even know if I'm halfway through, but I've been having a lot of fun playing it. It's very adjacent to Stardew Valley in terms of like you have like many options of what you can do. It's not like farming sim, but there are farming elements. There's also like crafting elements, and then there's like you can like make food, and like there's a bunch of like almost small mini games within it. Someone who would like Stardew Valley would love this game, and also it's also very cute art. So if you haven't checked out Tale, you should check out Tale. You don't have to like or know anything about League of Legends. And movies, I did watch Dune 2 this month, at the beginning of this month, and I did really, really like it a lot. It's literally like every handful of videos on TikTok is a Dune TikTok on my FYP, and I eat that shit up. It's so funny. I love it, but I feel like that's kind of the popular answer. Everyone knows that Dune happened and Dune was good. One movie that I did watch with friends that I really liked was a movie called Bottoms, and it is just like this like very over the top kind of ridiculous comedy about like these like lesbians who start almost like a fight club at their school. It's very silly but so fun. But it is a very specific type of comedy, and I don't really know the words for it because it's a little strange, but I really liked it. So look into that if you're into weird, if you have maybe an interesting sense of humor, you know?
I also totally forgot to mention Frieren, which was basically my top anime of last season and maybe of this whole year. I don't know. I really liked A Sign of Affection as well, but this one I think tops it. It's really, really good.
I don't have a favorite podcast, mainly because I haven't been as on top of it of listening to podcasts this month. I've been going through a lot of books. That's been what's in my ears most of the time instead of podcasts. So I don't have any new podcasts for you. But if you have any podcast recommendations, leave them below. I'm really wanting to find some new podcasts to kind of, listen to. But it's really hard for me to balance the podcast and audiobooks some months. Favorite program this month is the app on my phone, Libby. It's the library, the public library app. If you read books at all, and you should definitely get a library card, get the Libby app. There's also a Hoopla, which I don't have Hoopla, which I don't really know what the difference is. But Libby is pretty much where I listen to almost all of the audiobooks or just books that I read this past month. I spent very little money on books. It was pretty much all free through Libby. So putting my tax dollars to work, y'all. And my favorite drink this month is more for aesthetic purposes. I got the Animal Crossing Capri Sun. They have like a whole set of Nintendo Capri Suns. I don't know where all you can get it, but I got it at Target. So they have like an Animal Crossing one that is the Pacific Cooler flavor. They have like a Mario Kart one. I don't remember what all the rest of the flavors are. And then they have a Pikmin one. And they're all very cute, but I'm such an Animal Crossing girly. I was like, I want this for like collector purposes, but also like I only need one Capri Sun packet for collector purposes. It tastes like a Capri Sun. There's nothing special about the flavor. Yeah, if you like Capri Sun, you'll like it, but if you like cute packaging, then you'll extra like it, like me. My favorite song this month is just Ariana Grande's whole new album. All of it. Love it. I've been an Ariana Grande fan for a while, and I really like the like aesthetics and the sound of this new album. I've been listening through it like all the way through pretty much every time that I decide to listen to it, and it's just so good. Specifically, the two songs that I think have been really doing it for me and a lot of other people is Eternal Sunshine, which is the name of the whole album, and also something else. I'm so bad at remembering names of songs. Also Yes and is like permanently like stuck in my head. And then also We Can't Be Friends. That is a good song. Literally just Ariana Grande on repeat a lot of the time, and that's just the way it is. But Beyonce's album is about to come out, so that's what's gonna be next month. I promise you that. All right, my little creator, like highlight area, favorite creator is actually someone who commented on one of my other videos. So then I went to her video channel, her YouTube channel, and she also does little book stuff. And she's also, I'm a designer as well, but I don't do very many design related video. And by that I don't do any, but I'm rambling too much. Her name is Marissa Toman. I think that's how you say it. I don't usually see that last name, so I don't know. But Marissa, I love her vibe. She seems so sweet, and I just want to spread the love to other little booktubers, okay? I'm gonna take her book advice because it seems like we have some similar tastes. I'm really excited to like watch even more of her videos. I've watched a handful of them. I need to honestly comment on them. I'm sometimes so bad about that. I just like go on like a whole playlist binge, and my brain is turned off, so I'm not like, oh yeah, but I have to go back and do that. And the artist I want to showcase this month is Flo Balestra. I think that's how you say that. I was looking for some possible posters and things that I want to get to decorate my wall in my office, because I feel like a lot of it is like very repetitive. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just have like a lot of Ghibli and like a bunch of Avatar, and I don't have very much like variety in all of my interests. So I really wanted to get a Last of Us poster, so I was kind of searching Etsy, and I came across some of her Last of Us art, as well as like a whole bunch of other, like she has some other Pedro Pascal things, and it's so fun. And I just really like her art style. It's very kind of like sketchy kind of, and I'm obsessed. So even though I have not purchased anything yet, whenever I'm just collecting a whole bunch of artists that I would like to get posters of, like their art, for whenever I do tackle like an art, like redoing my art wall in my office. So she's on the list because I am a big fan. If you got all the way through, thank you so much. I'd love to hear some of y'all's goals for the next month coming up, especially because it's like spring, and I feel like it's a time of, you know, renewal, you know, all the spring vibes. Also, it's like going into Q2, which is more of a work term, but I'm trying to like think of things like that as well, just because I think it's helpful to have like not only like super long term and super short term. I feel like they're mid-term goals, and I feel like that helps if I think of it in terms of seasons, basically. Like, that's basically Q1, Q2 is all that sort of stuff. It's just like spring, summer, fall, winter, you know? But yeah, I do have some general like Q2 goals as well, but they're very, you know, quick. I'll let you know. I want to make some bookmarks, put on my Etsy. I would really like that. I'd like to prep a bunch of content for the summertime, because I assume summertime is going to be busy too. So I'll just always prepping, just constant prepping. It's fine. I also would like to maybe get my Power BI certification, because your girl's like low-key trying to look for a full-time job, and I'm very lost right now, but that's a me problem. You don't have to worry about that. We escape into books and video games, and that's fine. I'd also like to integrate some more like inspirational moments kind of thing into my co-working streams, because right now we're just kind of like, we work and we chat, and we work and we chat, and I feel like I could add some fun moments that are like very hopeful and looking to the future and blah blah blah. And I don't really have that at the moment, but once again, one stream improvement at a time. We'll think on that in another month. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate you, especially if you hung out this long. If you have any goals that you have, this bird really got stuff to say. The bird's just gonna be there. If you have any goals for the next month, and I would love to hear them, love to cheer you on. I hope to see you all around on my other videos about reading and about cozy gaming. If you're into gaming at all, I would definitely want to integrate some crafting stuff too, but I love doing too much, y'all know. But all the best to you this month. Make sure to subscribe, all that stuff. All right, I forgot to say it. Just do that and look at links down below. Yep, bye-bye. Cat alert. You're purring. You're purring in this little box.